Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about distance and how to find the distance of a line. Your objective for today is students will be able to calculate the distance of a line between two coordinate points. Let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing I want to point out here with our framing question is that you already know how to find the distance of a line. So if we are looking at these for examples, let's say we want to find the distance of line AC right here. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units, right? 9 boxes, 9 units, depending on what these units represent, what this coordinate grid is. It could be feet, it could be inches, could be meters, however. But you know how to do that. You count the boxes from one point to the next, and that's how you find the distance. Let's do the same thing for F and E. Line EF. And I'm putting that little line on top because that's the notation to tell you that it wants the line. And I count from E to F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 units. And as long as the lines are vertical or horizontal, like all of the ones we see here, right? Straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, we can count the boxes and we can figure out the distance. Now, the challenge comes in whenever we get lines like this, right? We get lines where we can't easily count the boxes in between the two coordinate points because it's slanted. So it's not landing on a full, nice unit box from one point to the next. So that's when we have to use our distance formula. And I wanted to first let you know that you also kind of already know how to do distance formula because it comes from Pythagorean theorem. So every slanted line can have a horizontal and a vertical line drawn to it, connecting it into a right triangle. So if you see, I just went the horizontal distance from -2 to +4 over here. And then I went the vertical distance from 1 to 3 over here. And that's what gave me my right triangle with the right angle right there. So if I wanted to find this over here, this would be my C. These would be my A and my B. Let me get this in a darker color. There we go. And I can just do Pythagorean theorem in order to find this. And if you wanted a refresher on Pythagorean theorem, that is just our c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. You use this to find the missing side of a right triangle. And if I wanted C, right, if I wanted C, this side right over here, and if I wanted to solve this formula for C, well, I would just need to take the square root of each side so that the square root would cancel with the squared, and I'd be left just with C is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. And if we're truly looking at what is A, right? What's this? Well, that is from over here. That's the distance in the x. It's the difference in the x's. And same thing for B, right? What's this? Well, if I look over here, that's the distance in the y's. Just how we did before, right? When we were counting with our vertical and horizontal lines, we just count the boxes from point A to point B, or this corner to this corner, and I could figure out the distance or the difference between my x's. And just over here, I could do the same thing. I could count up and down and get the distance between my y's. So you kind of already know where distance formula comes from. But let's see what it looks like in action. So here's our first example. Go ahead and write this formula down in your notes. And let's see what a problem like this would look like. And I have some steps here for you, or like a little criteria for success, if that helps you organize the information in your brain a little bit easier. So you can write those down if you want to. All right, so if we have something like this, the first thing I'm going to do is label my coordinate points. And you can see this is the exact same triangle that we were just using, but I'm going to solve it using the formula. So I have x1, y1, x2, y2. It doesn't matter which one of these is the first coordinate or the second coordinate, as long as x1 and y1 are together and x2 and y2 are together. All right, and then from there, I labeled. And now I'm going to substitute into the formula. So I get d is equal to, I write this really big square root, x1, which is right here. I'm going to mark it out so I know that I used it, minus x2 squared, don't forget that squared, plus y1, which is 1, minus y2, which is 3. Again, squared. Sweet. And then I'm going to take that after I've substituted, and I'm going to plug that directly in to my calculator. Oh, my screen's flipping around. I'm going to plug that directly into my calculator exactly the way I see it. And there it goes, flipping around again. And I get 6.3245532. Okay. Or when I round that, because it's IB, I need to round that to 3 sig figs. This. And we can definitely see how we needed the distance formula to help us out in this case, because it's not like those other ones where we could just count the boxes and we get a nice whole number. This is 6.32 and a very continuous decimal. We couldn't just count that in our head. And boom, you have your answer. If they happen to give you units, because it's a word problem, make sure you include the units, but this one didn't include units, so we can just leave it as the answer. Let's look at this example. Let's switch up colors. Find the length of this. Find the length of the segment, and remember that segment, that's just a line segment, right? It's from point A to point B, between -4, 3 and 4, 9. So I'm going to again do my steps. I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. So there we go. I'm going to plug that into my formula. Y is equal to x1 minus x2 plus y1 minus y2 squared. All right. And then I'm going to take that, plug that into my calculator, and I get, using my Desmos calculator, because I do not have a graphing calculator with me, a minus 9 squared, and I get 10. Oh, a nice whole number. No rounding necessary, just a nice whole number. Great. All right. Now on this next one, I want you to try it by yourself and then come back to the video and see if you did it correctly. So go ahead and pause me, try it by yourself, and then come check the answer. All right. I'm assuming that you are back from pausing and you labeled just like I did here. And then you substituted into the formula. And remember, we talked about how we don't necessarily need to show the work, especially because this would probably be a 2-point question. But we should show the work just for that partial credit. x1 minus x2, just in case something goes wrong and we don't get the answer right, we can get a point for the work. y1 minus y2 squared. And then step 3, I'm going to take that and plug that into my calculator. I get the square root of -3 minus 2 squared plus -7 minus 3 squared. And that gives me, there we go, distance is equal to 11.180333989, which when I round to 3 sig figs, right here, 11.2 as my final answer. All right, that brings you to the end of your guided notes. I have this example problem over here that you can do on the following practice page. Take a second to draw it out, and then let's go ahead and read the question. So we have a diagram that shows a triangle defined by the points 3, 9. I'm going to go ahead and label these corners. So this is 3, 9. B is 15, 6. And C is 5, 3. And it wants us to find the distance of line AB. So I'm going to mark from A to B. This is what it wants right here. So I'm going to, again, follow my exact same steps. I'm just making sure that I'm labeling the correct coordinate points. I'm going to label x1, y1. Looks like an ugly y. There we go. x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug into our distance formula. x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. I'm going to take that and plug that into my calculator. Again, the square root of 3 minus 15 squared plus 9 minus 6 squared, and that gives us 12.3693168. 8. There you go. And when we round that to 3 sig figs, we get 12.4. Great. All right. Now that you've done that on your practice page, you are ready to jump into the practice. Good luck, y'all.